What is going on, guys? Quality XA here today, and today I'm bringing you guys a brand new video on Destiny 2. Now today we're going to be talking about all of the niggly bits which were posted over social media this week, so we have quite a few things to actually talk about regarding DLC 2, Crimson Days and a load of little other bits. So let's get right into this. So first off, we are on the Reddit. So DMG actually receives this message. I see that the prestige mode for the Eater of Worlds is dropping with DLC 2. Is that taking place of the new raid content, or can we expect to see an all new raid lair? And DMG replies, Expansion 2 will have a new raid lair. We'll talk more about the Eater of Worlds prestige next week. So very interesting indeed. What he's actually referring to is the brand new Eater of Worlds, which we got in our most recent DLC, is actually getting a prestige mode, but that prestige mode is coming out when Expansion 2 comes out. So we're going to have two raid lairs to play in essence, really, which is kind of cool because it adds the amount of content that we can play through, but it is an extremely long time away. If you guys imagine, we've had Curse of Osiris for quite a long time now, so having to wait to actually play the prestige mode of this raid is still a bit of a pain and still a long time away. But regardless, in the long run, when it does come out, we are going to have a load of content to actually play with it, which in a sense is pretty darn cool. Still with the topic of the prestige raid, Fitzy sent this to CG Barrett on Twitter. He said, will we still be able to get the Prestige Argos ornaments in Season 3 since Prestige Argos isn't happening in Season 2? And Christopher Barrett replied, we won't let anyone miss out on rewards, expect more info on the Prestige lair soon. So, very interesting indeed. We do know that CG Barrett did also confirm that they are going to be speaking about the Prestige raid in next week at Bungie. So, really cannot wait till the 8th of February to hear what they actually have to say about the Prestige raid and see what they're going to do about all of these ornaments that are coming in Prestige raid and coming in Season 3. I'm very hyped for it because I did really thoroughly enjoy the raid lair. I'm just really hoping that the next raid lair, what they do release, is just as good as this first one that we had. Moving on, talking about mods 2.0 now, Cosmo had this to say on Reddit. Yes, we are currently targeting February, but we knew that the scope of the rework for mods could push it back to May, which is what the new current target is. It's great to get you this info sooner, but it will be more likely to change. So, Mods 2.0 is honestly one of the better things that we've heard. Mods, the system itself is just currently broken at the moment. With this new raid implementation where they've added these new mods, it's been really cool and it's allowed people to play the raid a bit more versatile and a little bit more fun as well, where you can actually use raid perks to assist you in the raid. Now they are targeting the mods to make them a lot more useful all over the board, so hopefully you can have Crucible specific mods, PvE specific mods, Trials of the Nine specific mods, all of that kind of stuff, which would be absolutely awesome for the game and add a load of variety when playing. Really awesome indeed. Let me know your thoughts if you're hyped for Mods 2.0. Next up, sticking with Cosmo on Reddit, he actually replied to a comment talking about Eververse, and he said, we are still planning on making the Eververse changes mentioned in the dev update. And then somebody replied, you outlined several Eververse changes that were supposed to take place as soon as Crimson Days comes out. And then he replied, that is still the plan. We have more information on Crimson Days for you next week. So this week at Bungie coming up, they are going to tell us more about Crimson Days. So that being the 8th of February, please do keep an eye out because Crimson Days does sound pretty awesome. And what he does mention about Eververse here is really cool indeed, because the way they want to rework the system is have Eververse more of a sidelined microtransaction, so everything what you can actually get from her you'll be able to earn in-game from participating in Nightfalls, doing the special game modes that they have on weekly, as well as finishing the quest, which will actually allow everyone to obtain every single Crimson Days item, which is really awesome indeed. Moving on now, we actually have a new post about the Rat King. So DMG commented on a post saying, the plan of record, removing 5-minute remaining requirement, step will require Prestige Nightfall completion instead. Stay tuned for patch notes. If anything changes, we'll let you know. So they are actually getting rid of the Nightfall timer for the Rat King quest, which is brilliant because it will allow more people to actually obtain the weapon, and it is actually quite a fun weapon to use, especially when there is a group of you using it. It will still require the Prestige Nightfall, which is going to be pretty difficult for some of you guys, but I do believe they are actually going to make it change so you don't actually have to complete the certain Nightfall. I do believe it's the arms dealer, but I might be wrong about that, but they are making it so you can complete different Nightfalls, I do believe, but do not quote me on that. But yeah, really awesome indeed. Hopefully more people can run around with the Rat King, and hopefully they actually buff that weapon. Like I said, it's really fun to use, but definitely needs some updating. And then last but not least, we have this on Reddit from DMG. So he gets a question saying, while chatting with them, can you also confirm whether eventual flinch fixes will also apply to linear fusion rifles? To which the reply was, linear fusion rifles are being tuned. Like snipers, flinch will be adjusted. And then at the bottom it also said, it's one piece of the puzzle, and the right people are looking at ways to make snipers a class of weapon that more players will equip. So very interesting indeed. It does look like they're obviously changing the flinch for the snipers and linear fusion rifles. Now I think this is good. As far as the most underused weapons go, it definitely does have to be linear fusion rifles and snipers. Very underused indeed, especially obviously in Crucible, so I'm really hoping that some tuning could actually bump these weapons up, because in PvE I actually really liked using linear fusion rifles to begin with, but now they're just not that great, and it's the same with snipers. There's no outstanding sniper which does unbelievable damage or has unbelievable perks, but we'll wait and see what they can bring us. But as always guys, that's pretty much the video. If you did enjoy it, a like is much appreciated, as well as subscribing if you guys are new around here for the latest and greatest content. But as always, peace out, I hope you enjoyed.